Hey, it's Ashley from Westcott, and today I'm going to be experimenting with a lot of different looks and playing with light. Okay, so we're starting today with a beauty shoot, and I want this shoot to be a lot of warm, natural tones. So we actually have a brown sugar background. Now, since I want a very natural looking photo, I actually want a lot of fill light. And I'm thinking of those studios that have like those really nice window lights that comes in and fills anything softly. I do not have that. So today what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna create the biggest light source I can think of, which is actually gonna be bouncing my strobe off the wall. And this is gonna create a giant light source for my model. And you can actually do this with any type of white wall, even a garage door, anything that has a white neutral color. So I'm gonna bounce it off my cyc wall, and it's gonna fill in all the shadows very beautifully and naturally, almost like window light. So I actually wanna dial in my ambient light first for the shoot, mostly because I wanna control how much shadow is in the photo and how bright that background's gonna be, because it's also gonna help control the color of the background. And for the shoot, I'm gonna use an FJ800, because I'm gonna lose a lot of power by bouncing it off the wall. So I actually use power level 7, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. And as you can see, we're getting a really nice soft fill, and it's actually illuminating a lot of the photo. So I don't want this photo to be completely flat, so I'm gonna introduce another light, an FJ400 with a 24-inch dual grind beauty dish switch. And I want this to be a little bit specular to bring out the highlights in the skin, so I use a silver. To help brighten these highlights, I actually took the deflector plate out of the softbox entirely. That way I get a nice hard light source. And for this, I actually kept the power pretty low at power level 4, and I just wanted to bring a little bit more highlights and a little bit more dimension to the photo. Let's see what that looks like. So now we're getting a very balanced photo, but I want to add one more light just to add a little separation on the shadow side of her face. So I'm going to add a rim light with a 1x3 softbox. And then also going to keep this at a low power, at the power level 4. And this is going to add just a little bit of highlights to her cheekbones and the shoulder and her hair. So I love using the Easy Boom for shoots like this, because even though my model's not moving a lot, she is going from fully standing to almost like a crouched down, like a hands on the hand shot. And when she goes from this standing position to a lower position, I'd easily be able to move the light up and down to keep the catch lights in her eyes. For this next shot, we wanted to go a little bit more creative with this beauty portrait and do something with an optical spot. That way we really focused area of light. So the idea of this was to have her silhouetted with a spot of light on her face to highlight the makeup. So we started with a clean background. I used a rapid box switch Octa-L as the background, so I had a nice area to focus with. And the cool thing about this is it's going to give us nice wraparound light onto her collarbones and onto the face. And the trick to this is to keep it close. The further away, the less wrap of light you're going to have, the closer you're going to have more wrap light. So you want to bring it as close to the model as possible. Then I brought in the optical spot just to add that little pool of light onto her face, and I kept it close to me so I can adjust it while I'm shooting. Now I got some cool shots with just the optical spot in the background, but it was still lacking a little bit to me, so I brought in a blue gel. And I put that in a 53-inch deep silver umbrella. That way it kind of blasts the light everywhere. Now one thing you want to keep in mind when using a fill light like this is shadow direction. I don't want to get rid of the shadows, I just want to color the skin that's going to be in shadows. So I want to keep it in the same direction as the optical spot, that way both the shadows are coming from the same direction and I'm still getting a true black shadow. When using a gelled fill light, you also need to keep in mind the balance of power. You don't want to overpower the optical spot with that blue light. You want to keep it low, and that way the shadows are a deep dark blue. The higher the output, the brighter the blue you're going to get. So I want to keep this low and so it's nice and dark. So for this shot, I started with my back light, and I wanted to have enough spill light around her shoulders and her face. So I adjusted the power until I got enough wrapped light that I liked. So let me show you that. So this is at power level 6, and I'm using the FJ800. Next, I brought in the optical spot, and during the whole shoot, I kept the model lamp on. That way I could see what I was doing. And I also turned the color temperature to a warm tungsten color. That way I wasn't getting confused with the ambient light and what light was doing what. And it helped me easily and quickly see what the optical spot was doing so I can make adjustments as my model moves. I'll show you what that looks like here. And then finally, we brought in that blue light. To make a totally different look very quickly, I wanted to bring in a small black background. And I wanted this to be as small as possible, that way I was still getting the wrap light from the background light. And we're keeping all the lighting exactly the same, the only difference is I am bringing in this black background. And I want to raise it high enough that it's going to cover her head. And just like that, we were able to get two completely different options. And it's very quick and very simple. I did not have to change any light settings. And just by adding that little piece of foam core, I was able to get variety and options for our model. So for the third look, we wanted to keep things really playful and bright. We had this glittery eyeshadow makeup and this periwinkle top, and I wanted to keep everything monochromatic, so I brought in the periwinkle background. Now we went with the periwinkle backdrop, but I didn't want that periwinkle to match her shirt directly. I wanted a little bit more contrast in the photo. So I actually backed that backdrop up just a little bit. And I actually have a whole video about this, so if you want to watch that to learn about the inverse square law, you can watch that right here. Now, since I'm going for clean and playful, I had to keep my lights clean. So I went with the 36-inch Manny Ortiz beauty dish. And this is a collapsible beauty dish, and I chose it in the white interior to keep everything nice and soft. Again, this is going for that clean, playful look. Now, I was getting a lot of shadows, so I decided to bring an highlighter in from underneath. And I wanted to keep this subtle, so I used the white fabric also. So the white beauty dish with the white highlighter, keeping everything nice and soft. To add just a little bit to the photo, I decided to bring in some wind. Now, you could bring in a fan, but for this, I knew we didn't have a lot of hair to move, so I simply just went the piece of foam core and had somebody behind her blowing the wind. That way the hairs were coming across her face. And it adds just a little bit more interest to the photo. What I love about this setup is it is just one light, and it's one of those lighting steps I go to again and again. I know I can set it up quickly and easily get the shot right away. For this last lighting step, I wanted to go really colorful, really crazy. So I had this idea to use a rainbow filter on top of an optical spot to get this almost like star sunburst look. And it's gonna create this optical spot from the star, and then it's gonna have rainbows on the edges. I started with the optical spot first. This way I can get it in focus, and then I added the film on top of that. And I knew for the shoot, I wanted my model fairly close to the wall, so we'd have a shadow that I can later gel blue. So I wanted to make sure the optical spot was closer to center than it was further away. That way the shadow would fall behind her and not too far away from the star. Then I brought in a 53-inch deep silver umbrella, and I brought in a blue gel with that. And this is gonna add a blue color to the overall photo, including that shadow and the edge of the optical spot. Now the important thing with this is I have it on the shadow side. That way it fills in the shadow that's behind her with this blue color. The cool thing about the shot is it's all done in camera. So I don't have to rely on Photoshop to get that cool star effect. So with it being all in camera, it's also a lot more organic. It feels more natural. So the really cool thing about this is when you break it down, it's actually a pretty simple shot. Just two lights, one main light, one fill. So with the star in the optical spot and the rainbow filter, I'm able to get some really cool dynamic shots all in camera. So in typical photographer fashion, I decided to get one more look. As we were kind of tearing down the last look, I was trying to get some close-up headshots, but with the rainbows everywhere, it was just way too many rainbows in her face. So I still wanted to use the star optical spot, I just didn't want the rainbows all over the place. So as I started setting up for this, I had the same thing, the optical spot with a blue gel. But as I was shooting, it was a little bit boring. So I'm like, how can I make this more interesting? And since the model had a lot of reflective makeup on, I knew I wanted to try some shutter drag. So with shutter drag, you need a constant light. And to test this out, I simply just turned the Milo lamp on the FG800. Now, since the Milo lamp has a tungsten to daylight white balance, it was set to tungsten, and I thought the warm and the cool tones were really cool and interesting for the photo. So I took a few test shots, and I was actually kind of really liking what we were getting. It looked very experimental, very fun, colorful. So I knew I'd get a lot more control over the power output if I were to switch to an L120B. That way I can dial it down a lot more than the Milo lamp could go. So I switched it out for a constant light. So I still kept the same tungsten white balance of 2700. So it's going to act exactly like the Milo lamp, just have a little bit more options. The other key thing to note when doing shutter drag is your shutter speed time. Normally I would shoot at my sync speed of 1/200 a second or somewhere around there, but with shutter drag, I need to slow my shutter down a little bit more than ambient light in. So I slowed my shutter speed down about half a second, because I really didn't want that long of trails. So anyone who's ever done shutter drag, they know front and rear curtain are very important settings. Me personally, I like to use front curtain because I'm doing the motion with my camera instead of the person moving. So I control the direction of the light trails simply by moving my camera left or right. That way I control what direction they're moving. Another benefit to front curtain sync is I'm able to compose the photo before I push the shutter. With rear curtain, it's a guessing game. Your shutter is closed, you can't see what you're doing, and that's not the case with front curtain sync. I did bring in a third light for the setup because I wanted to add a little bit more of that glow to the background. So I added another FJ400 version 2 with a orange flexi drill to the floor. And I just want this very low to the ground as possible, so kind of went from an orange to a blue in the background, just to add a little bit more color dimension to the photo. Shoots like today are all about experimenting. I started the day with clean, simple setups and transitioned all the way to bright, bold, experimental photos. That's what I love most about beauty photography is there is no one right way to do things. You can experiment and have fun. Let me know in the comments below which of these looks was your favorite, and as always, thanks for watching.